pit blade works.
Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Silverfang, and today I'm gonna be reacting to another video. Well, this is a little bit different. This is not a fight. This video is called Counter Guardian Emiya Explained. So basically, we're gonna be going through like some Fate lore. And as you guys know, I started watching Fate like not too long ago, and I don't know much about the franchise except for what is like obviously stated in the animes. So I don't know much. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. Little disclaimer though, I might have already watched this video, and when I say might have, what I mean is when I first started watching Fate, I really liked Archer Emiya a lot. So at first I like, so if you guys don't know like about me, so my job is like driving, so I do a lot of driving. So when I first found out about Fate while I was on the job, I just put like YouTube videos on the car and just listen to whatever it is. So when I first started watching Fate, I watched like a whole bunch of videos on Archer Emiya, like a little bit more about his background and all that. So that's why I decided to do this one first, just because if I'd already seen it, I don't really remember watching it, but just in case I might have, you know, there's not a lot of Fate videos out there. So that's a little disclaimer, but it doesn't matter. I just give my 2 cents on the video. It's probably gonna be pretty interesting just because like it's crazy. Like Fate has a lot of information like in the background that is not obviously stated in the manga. I mean, in the anime, and you have to read the novels to like kind of like know things about like for example, a very interesting thing that I learned recently was about the counterforce. Like that's not mentioned or hasn't been mentioned in any anime that I've seen thus far. So like Fate has a really nice and well developed universe, and I don't know much about it, so it's gonna be nice to find out a little bit more. One thing before we start with the video, so if you guys like my content, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. It helps you out a lot too, to keep track of my content and see, so you can get notified whenever I upload. I upload every day or almost every day. It's either every day or once every other day, so I post a lot of content very frequently, so you guys might enjoy hitting that subscribe button, just because it's gonna keep you notified of every time I upload a video. And if you like Fate, this is the channel for you. Like I have like a whole bunch more Fate videos planned, and yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the video.
Really wanted to start this episode with some spectacular opening line because, you know, it's Shiro Emiya, Fate's poster boy himself. He's in pretty much every variation and timeline of the Fate series, and even when he's not, he still kind of is. But for some reason, I just couldn't think of
for real.
quite fitting
When I started watching Apocrypha, I immediately was wondering like, what is his relationship to Shiro? Why is his name Shiro?
The Faker of Archers, the wrought iron hero, the protector of balance.
Why he call it the Faker of Archers?
A hero of justice. Or is he?
This is nice. I like his style already.
Sure all of you are already very familiar with pre-heroic spirit Shiro.
Pretty much.
I mean, he's the main character of the most popular Fate anime, so it's only natural that you're aware of who he is. But you probably have so many questions regarding how he was even able to be summoned as a servant in the Fifth Holy Grail War. Like, what made him become a heroic spirit in the first place? How did he die? Why does he want to kill his past self? And so on and so forth. So let's place ourselves at the end of the Fifth Holy Grail War, where Shiro and Saber have just destroyed the Holy Grail after winning the war together. They part ways shortly after because Shiro was unable to help Saber fulfill her true wish. So Shiro goes to London with Rin instead to study magecraft. It's there he becomes obsessed with the idea
that's
of
like the end of Unlimited Blade Works.
Not like he wasn't already infatuated with the idea before, but in order to realize his true potential, he starts to work as a magus for hire. But no matter what training and experience he got, His abilities just were never at the point where he wanted them to be.
So this is my
Nevertheless,
question
he
though.
persisted.
So did
Even
he
if it did
eventually
mean
find out
fighting against
about
corrupted entities
projection
similar to
magic
Emiya,
even
who
without
were far
meeting?
stronger
Who
than
is
him?
that?
He would simply retreat and try
I don't know who
again.
that is.
A little later down the road, Shiro is faced with a crisis where 100 lives hang in the balance. Realizing that his current self would be unable to save them, the world,
Yeah,
or more
so
specifically Alaya, appeared
yeah,
with
so I learned
Shiro
about this
offering him
recently.
absolute
This is a
freedom
really
in
nice
exchange
balance
for
in the
his
Fate
service as a
universe. It's
counter
really
guardian
nice.
after death. But what even is Alaya, or this so-called counter guardian? Well, Alaya refers to the collective will of mankind to survive. It's one of two components of the world, along with Gaia, which refers to the planet's will to survive. Don't get the two confused though. Alaya only drives on the existence of humanity, whereas Gaia will not hesitate to just kill all of mankind if the planet as a whole is at
Yeah,
risk.
so I read about
So
this
these
recently.
two supernatural entities that exist outside of space and time work together to make up what's called the counterforce. And the counterforce is basically an instinctual reaction that prevents the destruction of the world by summoning super OP creatures or counter guardians to
Oh,
restore
who is
balance.
that,
How
bro?
they restore balance, though, we'll get into that shortly. Now back to Shiro. Being presented with the ability to save everyone, he doesn't hesitate to enter this contract with Alaya. As far as Shiro was concerned, not only would he be able to save those 100 people, he would also be able to continue saving people after death as a counter guardian. Or so he thought.
Oh, so is that pretty much how
Now
he
with
got
his
all the
newly
all the
gifted
powers
to
of
essentially
Archer,
create miracles,
Emiya?
he's able to save countless lives and through that achieves enough
But that's
power
not when
to
he
enter
died, though.
into the throne of heroes and be classified as a heroic spirit. Shiro's final act as a human was bringing an end to a great war, but somewhere along the way he was betrayed and he became branded as the root cause of it. As
Yeah, I
such,
think he said that
humanity, being
in
the forgiving
Unlimited
creatures
Blade
that they
Works.
are, turned their back on him and sentenced him to death. It is in death that Shiro's new existence as a counter guardian begins. All pumped up and ready to start saving people again, Shiro quickly realizes that it's not at all what he was expecting it to be like. Although he did end up using his godlike powers to save humanity time and time again, the method in which he did it was the complete opposite of everything he stood for. You see, when Alaya realizes that humanity is entering a rabbit hole of destruction, it will send a single agent to eliminate the threat. And when I say eliminate, I don't mean simply take out all those deemed guilty by the world. I mean kill everything and everyone that's remotely close to the area that he was sent to. It's pretty
So
much the world just
basically-
saying, fuck it, let's start over and just nuke this place. And
So
that's
basically,
exactly what Shiro
he
did.
basically
He
became
saved humanity from
Kirutsugu
its own
at the
demise
end
by
because
killing again and again
that's
and
what pretty
again.
much Kirutsugu
And
used
as
to
I
do.
said, this
Obviously,
wasn't
he's doing
purely
it
a guilty
at a
feat.
much
The casualty count
like
probably numbered in the millions each time.
see.
That's only a wild guess, but considering that it's assumed the sinking of Atlantis was caused by Alaya, then a couple million might
really?
even be on the low side. So Shiro spends eons as Alaya's agent,
Where was
manifesting
that
back on
where
Earth
was
at
that
different points in
stated?
time to repeatedly witness and enact the very
I'm eventually
opposite
gonna
of
get
what
to
he
reading
stood
the
for.
novels, I guess,
Eventually,
because
he just came to realize that his
there's like a
idea was
lot of
wrong,
stuff that's
and that
not animated
Kirutsugu was
yet.
right. It's impossible to save everyone. It's easier to just maintain a balance.
So
and
yeah,
save
that's
the
pretty much
majority
what
that
Kirutsugu
possibly
used to
can.
do. Like
It
I
just
remember
so
in Zero
happened
they
that in
explained how
Shiro's case,
he would
they
take
were
down
scaled to
like
a much larger
entire
number, but when
airplanes
compared to
and
humanity as a
blow
whole,
up entire
it was
buildings
still a
just to
small price
like
pay.
kill like
Eventually,
one person.
Shiro became fed up with his existence
So that's
as a
pretty much
counter
what
guardian.
Shiro is
He
doing as a
essentially
counter
spent
guardian,
all eternity faced with the fact that no matter what he
but
did,
at a
he wouldn't
much
ever
at a
be
much
able to
larger
save
scale.
everyone. And this became a truly painful existence for him.
I
As such,
bet.
he devised a plan to free himself from his role as Elias' agent.
That's the most fucked
He
up
saw an
way,
opening
like
as a heroic spirit
to do
and
exactly
as a
the
servant
opposite
during
of
the
everything you
Fifth Holy
believe in for
That way,
an
if he was able
eternity.
to
That's
kill
crazy.
his past self before ever
It's
being
like
able to
torture,
form a
pretty much.
contract with Alaya, it would create a big enough time paradox that it would erase his existence as a counter guardian. So, as you already know, he finally got his chance and was summoned as an archer in the Fifth Holy Grail War. And that puts us right back to the beginning of where we started. From what I understand though, the timeline where Shiro becomes a counter guardian and the timeline where heroic spirit Shiro is summoned are two completely different universes.
Okay.
They're alternate timelines representing two different potential futures for Shiro. That way, it doesn't end up becoming
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
of Shiro always becoming a counter guardian, then regretting it, and returning back to the Fifth Holy Grail War to prevent it from happening. Which makes me wonder,
Gotcha.
who was Rin's servant in the timeline
Yo,
where
for
Shiro
real?
does become the counter guardian? Because
For
I think
real?
it would be heroic spirit Shiro.
That's a really
otherwise it's
interesting
already
question.
in an infinite loop. If you're more familiar with how the timelines are split, then let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know more about Shiro's timeline from before he was summoned in the Fifth Holy Grail War. But yeah, that's the legend of heroic spirit and counter guardian Shiro Emiya. In life, he was betrayed
For
time
real?
and time again by those he had trusted. He only had his strong belief and ideals to go by. But the world had other plans for him, and in the end, even those
Maybe it was someone connected to Gilgamesh.
find a way to cease existence. It's really quite the tragedy when you think about it, but I guess that's what fate's known for. A few other important bits of information regarding Shiro during his time as a servant are the circumstances of his summoning and the lack of memories he has from his time as a human. He's able to be summoned because throughout eternity he had kept the jewel that Rin used to save his life. And this jewel just so happened to also be the catalyst that was used by Rin at the time of the summoning. Once summoned though, he claims that the only memory he recalls from his time alive was the summoning of Saber and the day that he was saved by Kiritsugu. Although he seems to also remember Rin after seeing her face, but that's pretty much it. If you're also wondering,
but I think he was lying though.
There's actually a reason for it. Apparently, years and years of projection magic, along with literally using his body as materials to produce these projections, are what caused his skin to darken.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's crazy.
It turns out that the whole "I am the bone of my sword" thing, it has some literal meaning behind it. As for his alter appearance, I have no idea. Don't ask me. So
yo, what is that?
That's all the essential information you need to understand the counter guard.
It looks mad weird.
Spirit Shiro Emiya. Is he still a hero for justice? I guess that depends on what your definition of justice is. Now, this is normally where I'd segue into his abilities and noble phantasms, but I didn't quite realize how complex his unlimited Bladeworks reality marble was, so I'll make that into its own separate video that I promise will come out much sooner
so
than you think.
I'm gonna be doing reacting to part 2 of this video also.
But I assure you, a lot more explained videos are on the way, both for Fate and for Overlord. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So until next time.
Yo, so I'm gonna leave the original video down in the description box just because I really like the style of the video, and I like the video as a whole, and I like everything he said, and it was pretty nice. It was really put together nicely, so I really like his content. So I'm gonna leave the original video down in the description box below just in case you guys want to go and check over some more of his other videos. So I'm definitely going to be doing like all the Fate Stay Night servants, and then I'm going to be doing all the Apocrypha. Like he has all of those out, so I'm definitely going to be reacting to all of those. So first thing, something interesting that he mentioned was the fact that, so there's a little thing. So I said earlier that maybe Rin's servant in that timeline was someone connected to Gilgamesh, and the reason why I say that was because probably when she first tries to summon a servant, she's not using a proper relic, so it maybe doesn't work. So maybe what I'm thinking is maybe after that she goes to Koromine or somebody else to find out how a summoning is properly done. So after that, she uses the same relic that her father used in the previous Holy Grail War. But obviously, that's not gonna bring out Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh is already summoned in that timeline and he's already there. But what it might do is bring somebody that's connected to Gilgamesh and all that. So that I don't know. I think it's possible. Maybe, I don't know. So another thing is the counterforce. That's really interesting. It's really interesting. So basically we have these two beings, Alaya and Gaia, and pretty much all of them, like they don't work as a it's pretty much like something to protect the world and mankind, and it's like they create a balance within each other. But I feel like they always work to the extreme, meaning like they don't just change one thing on one little thing or whatever. Like as he said, like one of them will kill like millions at a time, the other one could blow up the entire planet if it wished. Like it's crazy. So it always works to like the extreme. Maybe they counter each other a little bit, and that creates a little more balanced system, but that's pretty interesting too. And another thing that I found interesting though was that if he mentioned that he thinks Alaya caused the sinking of Atlantis. That's interesting. That's really interesting. It makes me really curious about everything that I don't know about Fate. Like Fate is awesome to me. Like the universe is so well developed, and I don't know nearly as much as I should to be honest. Like I try, you know, like I'm watching all the animes, I play the game, all of that. And by the way, quick thing about the game, I just wanted to ask a quick question. So, you know, like the servants, they have this little like profile in the game. So is that profile like reliable when it comes to like comparing servants, not just for the game but for like the actual Fate franchise? Meaning, are the abilities and stats that are listed on the game profile the same abilities that the servant have in the actual novels and anime? So that's what I mean when I say like, are those profile reliable? Because if they are, I have like a whole bunch of videos that I would like to do based on them. So pretty much what I was thinking was that I could pretty much, not obviously not just based on the profiles, but I could create like a bunch of like versus matchup of servants who normally wouldn't meet each other and normally wouldn't fight, and I could pretty much like do a whole versus series, just not just based on the profiles. Obviously I will go like read other stuff and watch the anime episodes that each of them appear in and all of that. But basically what I'm thinking is, if those profiles are reliable, I could pretty much use them as a comparison point, like for, because there's a lot of servants that I don't know about, that I haven't seen yet. So it would be nice to read up on them and see what they're all about. So yeah, if you guys could answer that for me, that'll be awesome. So as I was saying, the sinking of Atlantis, that's pretty interesting. That's really interesting. I have to read the novels at some point. I want to watch all the animes first. Like after Babylonia, I think I'm gonna watch Malloy's Case Files, I think it's called. So then I gotta watch I think another one is Prisma, something like that. So I gotta watch all of those. I gotta watch freaking I think it's called Last Encore. I gotta watch that too. So there's a bunch of stuff that I gotta do, that I gotta see from Fate before I can actually start reading the novel. What else? The fact that Shiro became like Kirutsugu, that's pretty ironic. Like all the time, like all he wanted to was to save a whole bunch of people, and at the end he ended up becoming exactly what Kirutsugu was, but worse, because he killed millions at a time, which is crazy. It's insane. And could you imagine like spending the whole eternity doing something that you hate? It's pretty much torture. Like there is no wonder he was like as messed up as he was in Unlimited Blade Works, just because like of course you will want to kill Shiro. Like he's everything that you don't want to be. Like it's crazy. So he's like headed in the path that you headed, and he's gonna eventually become you. So like he's everything that you hate about yourself. So of course he will want to kill Shiro. What else? That's pretty much it. They mentioned like a few other villains that I don't know about. There was this weird guy called Agalamai. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but I'm guessing that's from the novels as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I really gotta watch. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Next time he's gonna go over the powers, and I'm probably gonna have a lot more to say about that. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please drop me a like. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. Currently I'm trying to reach 200 subs by the end of the month, so if you guys could help me out with that, I would really appreciate it. It comes a long way for me. Like it keeps me really motivated. Every time I reach a milestone, it just keeps me motivated to keep making videos every day. So for those of you guys who are already subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And that's pretty much it, guys. Have a nice day, and catch you guys next time.